Attention, 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 attention. There is an error. There is an error. There is an error. The podcast you are listening to is too advanced for your stupid brain. Your molecules in your head do not correctly come together in order for you to understand the true comedy of this podcast. Error, 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 error. Welcome back. Welcome back. Here we are again, episode 17. We're almost done 20 episodes, guys. I'm trying to do one a week. I am doing one a week. And if I have to catch up in between, I will have to catch up in between. I'm wearing the sweater again, which might be confusing for people who don't understand that they might look at us and say, hey, what's going on? He's in the same clothes as last week. Doesn't he have unlimited clothes? He's such a wealthy podcaster. Why is he wearing those clothes again? I can tell you this. I didn't think about it. I just thought that you guys would, worry about the content more than anything else. I'm fired up. I've been lied to all weekend long. I've been promised things and none of those things happened. We will get into those details. But first, let me just thank everybody for listening. And by everybody, I mean the millions of people who now call this their favorite podcast. Everybody's knocking on the door for me to get in there. And I will soon enough. But I have to make sure I respect the fans. I have to make sure I respect the day ones. Let us appreciate from whence this audience has come. Okay? So, still, Ireland in number 1, Canada number 2, Trinidad far behind in number 3, in fairness. Ireland has 4 times the listenership, percentage-wise. This is a disgusting disgrace. The Netherlands, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, Denmark, France, Italy, Australia, Philippines, Ecuador. Let me hear if you from Ecuador. That's a new one. Ecuador. My God. Oh my God. No, that's more of an African English accent. Is Ecuador that place where that mad fella took over and just started locking people up like crazy and murking up people, killing people, and then it just so happened that crime went down? This is crazy. Imagine this, okay? People who were involved with crime, committed crimes, or suspected of committing crimes were locked up and crime went down. Can you believe? No, seriously. Can you believe that happened? I think we suffer from things being too nice. I've said this before in the past on this podcast. You have to realize that in order to have peace, if you have to have peace, let me try and think this thing through. If you want peace, somebody else has to have war, right? Let me tell you what I mean. The other day, a fella broke into a spa. That's like a 7-Eleven here in Orland, Dubs. He broke in, he had a knife. He threatened to kill the attendant if he didn't hand over the money. It just so happened a guard was close by. The guard came in. The guard pulled out his baton. They don't have guns here. Otherwise, that man would have already been shot to death, which nobody said anything about. And the guard said, put down the knife. He didn't. He said, I'll stab you. I threatened the guard. He gave him one more chance, said, put down the knife. He didn't. So the guard is policeman again for those international fans. So the guard absolutely leathered him with his baton. And he was on the ground and he was still collecting level lash. So I said, and that's the only part that was videotaped, right? It's just the part where the guard says, drop the knife. Nothing happens. And then the guard goes into him, right? Of course, you open up the comments. He's a human being. He just got caught up. He just needs a retreat. What he needs is he needs to go to the sauna. He needs a cold plunge. And he needs to know that he is worthwhile. Okay, can that happen after he gets licks for threatening to stab the man in his face? What about the fella who was tending the cash and was scared out of his mind and thought this white devil was going to slice him to pieces? There has to be some understanding that not everyone, and this is going to be a shock, guys. This is going to be a real shock. But not everyone is one conversation away from being completely cured of their past deviances and then being allowed on, not being allowed, and then changing into this perfect person who wants to, live by society's rules. Some people are not raised like that. And they're fun. Those people are fun. Unfortunately, they are also terrorized the neighborhood. Here in Ireland, bike stealing is a common one. Motorbike and regular bikes, right? The guys that do anything, you call them, my bike got stolen. Alright, yeah. When it happened, you tell them, they do a report, you say, I'll call you next week. Never happens. I had my bike stolen twice, okay? And then I had somebody steal my frame, but they left it where it was. Okay, my bike got stolen, told the guards, call the management company. They wouldn't give me the footage because of GDPR. God forbid, guys, we cannot. These guys have rights. They may steal your mode of transportation for you to get your children to daycare and get to work so you can provide for your family, but they have rights. They have rights. So he takes the report. This is his first bike. Shout out to Connor for giving me his old bike, which got stolen 2 months after. By the way, covered private basement car park. Locked up. Boom. Cut and gone. Next, the wheels got taken. And that was my fault because they were quick release wheels on a racer bike, right? So the frame is sitting down there. I'm trying to think, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I come down one day to pour the garbage. It have wheels on it. My frame. I thought I was going crazy. I said, what the mother is going on here, boy? I watch any bike. You know that kind of thing you see sometimes and I go, and you don't know what you're seeing and your brain kind of having a hard time figuring out what the fuck is going on. Well, that was me. So I watched any bike there. I said, is that my bike? Why would it have wheels all of a sudden? And then I realized the lock, the kryptonite lock, unbreakable kryptonite lock, was indeed broken. He couldn't get it open all the way. So then he worked it past the bar and then zip tied it to the frame, which makes me believe he couldn't get it off the frame. He could only get it off the bar. So I'm thinking, how the France this man take off my lock, pawn his lock, new tires. I said, nah, what's going on here? So I'm fuming. I want to call the police. I want to call the management company. Ting. Anyway, I talked to some people and they're like, it's probably somebody in your building. Write the man a letter. So I wrote the letter and I said, listen. I said, hi, this is my bike. You don't know how stealing works? You steal the frame and you take it somewhere. You know what I mean? You don't steal in place and then hot rod the machine and then still steal it where the owner left it. That doesn't make any damn sense. I didn't tell him all this. But I realized this is obviously somebody from the building. Doesn't know how stealing works. So, write him a letter. I get a text. I left my number. I get a text message. Hey, please don't call the police. Please, really sorry. I thought it was abandoned. Keep the wheels. Ha! He fixed the gears. He pawned some fresh wheels. And he said, keep it. So this morning I took a ride on that very bike. Cycle around the place, all through Phoenix Park. And just imagine murdering people, which is what I like to do when I'm exercising. It really calms me. I like to think that somebody has wronged me and my family in an unforgivable way. How would I murder them? How would I trap them? Would I do it publicly? Would I bury them in the dirt? Would I do it like a sniper? How would I do it? I'd like to think of all these. I like to be prepared for whatever's gonna come. I think I'm gonna live a nice life, but I don't know. Somebody might step out of line, and if they do, I don't wanna then have to think about ways to kill them. I wanna have all those ways in the bank, and just a Rolodex I go through. What will it be today? Will I burn them to death? Will I sneak up behind them, put on a zip tie, and then walk away? Hands-free killing, they call that. Bluetooth killing. I haven't figured it out yet. So bikes are big being stolen here. The police not really doing anything about it. What can they do? I don't know. I like to think that they could have like these rapid response units around the place. Because the guys get out of the van, it's 5 or 6 of them. They all have balaclavas on. One or two of them usually have big knives. So even if you go downstairs and say, yo, stop stealing my bike, they'll say, I'll kill you. So what you need in that time, I think, is a van with some scary dudes. You know, some police officers. And they don't ask questions. They don't arrest nobody. They just show up there. Throw all those men in the van. They take them into the woods and just leather them. Break a couple of foot bones and then take their shoes and their socks and say walk home from the mountains, and their feet are broken and they're walking and they're crying. You do that a couple of times, you know what I mean? Sure, there'll be a limpier vibe to Dublin, but maybe the stealing will stop. Which brings you back to Ecuador. Maybe the one person who is listening from Ecuador is the president. I've forgotten his name now. What is his name? Ecuador president. Yes. Daniel Noboa. That's him. Hey, he younger than me. Don't fucking play Daniel, boy. Yeah, easy. So he has basically just been taking up people. And now his country is safe. Is that what Ireland needs? I don't know. That seems a bit heavy-handed. So hopefully he's the one listening to this podcast. I'm a supporter. I mean, there's some kind of line that you have to draw, because some people do make it out of the system. I've heard first-hand accounts of parents in certain developments who make their kids sell drugs in those developments, because if they get caught by the police, it's a misdemeanor. They're kids, whatever. The police just confiscate the drugs, and then there's no harm, no foul, except for the parents who beat the children mercilessly when they get home because they lost the drugs that the parents need for money. But I mean, that's really a nice little fairy tale story from the rough Irish inner city areas, Dublin inner city areas. So some of those people might make it out. And I guess for those ones, you don't really want to be too heavy-handed as the police go. Although, maybe a nice little cut ass, a nice little bus head might turn you back in the right direction. People are feeling unsafe though. I don't really feel unsafe. My wife definitely doesn't. But stuff is getting more brazen. Pickpocketing, people getting out of line. And what is the answer? I don't know. But I was fantasizing about murdering people anyway this morning. I came back from that cycle. I felt good. It was raining. When I left, no rain. 5 minutes into the cycle, rain. Rain drizzling down my back. And then some of the rain started to tickle down in betweenst my butt cheeks. So when I ride in, I just work in the rainwater down, further down, through the crack. Tickling my balls, tickling my nethers. And that's the story. Life has become too easy. And I wonder when that happened. You know, like, it's easy, but it's also hard. For instance, last couple of generations, both parents have to work to make enough money to survive. Now, is that because we are buying more shit? It could be. But it's, you know what it is? It is a symptom of success. Us wonderful men saw these mothers and wives working hard in the household. We said, let's get a couple of inventions. Let's have a couple of inventions to help them out. So what do? First things first. Well, they go into the store every day to get food. Because nothing can keep. So every day they had to make a trip to the store. What could we do? refrigerator. Kabow! You're welcome. Okay? Nobody said thank you, but still we say you're welcome. What else? Well, it's taking 2 days to wash these clothes. What if there was some kind of machine that washed? Ricky Shirakasha Tatasha. Boom. Washing machine. What else? Dishwasher. I mean, I don't know. I think that's actually slower than a regular machine, but you don't have to do anything. You could at least, you know, you could do other things instead of washing your dishes. Even though it takes 4 times longer than doing it by hand, it's still something you don't have to do. What else? The iron, electric iron? That doesn't make any sense. That hasn't really changed much. I mean, they used to heat it up on fire. Now it's a whatever. So the washing machine, the fridge, of course, the feminine hygiene products. You know what I mean? You could go about your day. You throw a little thing up inside it to soak up the blood and you get on with your life. Again, was that a good idea? Was it not better for women to just kind of take it easy for a week? So that one, we'll take the hit on that one. Anyway, so all of this extra time, things got too easy. And then what happened? Women wanted to work. They're like, listen, we have it done. We have it done. We don't have to spend all this time raising children. You know what I mean? Let's work. Let us work. And the men were hesitant at first. And we said, cool, come on, let we work. Let's work. We need a couple of rednecks on the oil field, on the offshore oil fields, and actually mining enrollment is down, and because of all those tampons we invented, we now need somebody who can put on a suit, a diving suit, and go down into the sewers and clear all the doo-doo water, all the clumps of fat and grease, and use tampons out to the pipes. Well, hold on. We weren't talking about those jobs. How you mean? No, you could do it. Y'all could do it. Y'all are strong. Remember Second World War, y'all, you know what I mean? We were fighting and y'all built the things. Well, we were thinking the jobs with the air conditioner and the laptops. Oh, good. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. So, what is it? 5%, 10% want to get into the workforce? Should we stage it so that it doesn't flood the market with labor? No, all at once. Rakash, what happened? The wage got cut in half. Oh gosh, that was unintended. So it mightn't seem like the wage was cut in half because the wages are going up, aren't they? However, they're not going up faster than the cost of living. So the wages are we're making, men and women making, but the cost going vertical. So then women had to work more hours. What do we do with the kids? Just let's pay somebody, let's work, make money, and pay somebody else to raise the kids. Genius. So here we are now, living in the city, me and my wife, 2 full-time jobs. She's brilliant. She's obviously the star of her job. And we make enough so we pay a stranger to raise our kids. And that's the modern life. And I'm not saying that it's women's fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. But a little bit of it is. You know what I mean? No more than 70-80%. You know what I mean? But there is some blame that you will have to shoulder. And apparently your shoulders are as wide as ours. So you can take all of that blame. Oh, God. But the nice thing is you don't have to raise the kids. Because that's you know what I mean? That's for nobodies. That's for fools, isn't it? You don't want to be just a housewife. You want to come home from working 8 hours a day and then raise your kids at night too. Raise them at night, put them down, up, down. I guess that's the directions. And Isn't it wonderful what we've done, guys? We are a product of our own success. We succumb to our own success. We were too smart, we came up with too good things, we wanted to be too equal. I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this. Don't tell us we're the same. Some people are just designed for other jobs. Some are designed for jobs, and women are designed for some, men are designed for. It's just the truth. I mean, I'll never go back to another male doctor. They don't even listen when you're talking. The females, they listen, they take in the notes, you know what I mean? Let's see what we could do here. Fantastic. Same thing with the physio. Every male physio you go to just calls you a pussy. And the female ones are like, you know what I mean? They say, this is what we could do here. They give you an action plan. They listen to what you're saying. And because of their little fingers, they could get into some of the crevasses that a big man's hand cannot get into. And you have to be careful with some of those. Because I went to, some of them they're starting to, you know what I mean? They're starting to add things on. They're starting to expand the job role of physiotherapist. Okay? Let me tell you what I'm saying. I went to one, she puts on needles. I said, sorry, what's going on here? First of all, you're white. I don't trust whites with needles when it comes to acupuncture. She said, no, it's called dry needling. I said, all right. So what happens there? Well, this is what you do, ting. I was running a marathon at the time, training for one. I said, cool, get down there. You know what I mean? She took off. She gave me a pants to put on, which I thought was, okay. Put on the pants. Took off my shirt. She said, why are you taking off your shirt? We definitely don't need you to do that. I said, sorry, my apologies. She said also usually they wait until I leave the room to get dressed so they don't have to get naked in front of me. I said, listen, I'm not ashamed of my body. You're definitely not ashamed to stare, which she was. So I put on the shorts. And then we're on the bed now. She said, get on your side. I'm in almost fetal position. She takes out this needle and starts to poke all around my leg. I feel it all over. She poking my knee. I feel it in the top of my head. She poking my back. I feel it in my toes. And then she went into my hip and she said, move something around there. Pardon, man? 3 seconds later, massive erection. So now on my left side, packing heat. I'm trying to tell her, whoo, wow, okay, you're pushing. She said, yeah, is it working? I said, it's working. I said, it is working. So now, she said, okay, turn over. I said, hold on a second. Again, hold on. So I'm trying to kill some time to get the prick to go down. I said, hold on a second. I started feeling a little. She said, well, let me work it out. I said, no, it's a skin, it's an irritant. She said, oh, the oil, hold on, let me rub it off. I said, don't rub anything. I said, just come out the way a second. Let me just catch my breath. Let's catch my breathe. Anyway, I caught my breath. The erection went down. And, so they know what they're doing too. They know the buttons to push, and she going inside and she thinks it's kicks to just make me have an erection like that. Is insane. And then they bust right through this cheap pants she gave me. You know? But that's how it goes sometimes. So, I'll say this. Those kind of fields, women still trying to prove themselves, always pick them. Dentist, same thing. Oh my God. I went to a male dentist. It was just a torture chamber. I went to a female one. She said, this is what's going on, ting. She said, try this. She pulled up on an Amazon thing. She was like, buy this thing, use this thing, don't use that, that's crap. The first dentist I went to, this male, older guy, his teeth they were terrible. I said, how are I taking advice from you? You know? Anyway, so he talking, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Left there one time. Found somebody else. Shout out. And then for men, we are better at doing stuff where we like to get dirty. Men like to play. We're like pigs. So we like to go on the oil rigs. We like to be in the dirt, in the mines. You know? We like that shit. And we're good at it. And I'm not saying women are not good at it, just we might be better. You all are good at dealing with people. We're good at dealing with things. As a fact. And the lesson today is that women have ruined everything. And also, sometimes you have to crack a couple of eggs to make an omelette. And if that is a peace omelette in Dublin City, you have to physically assault some of the eggs that are stealing bikes. That seems very clear. I love you. Goodbye.